good at caring too much. I'm just good at caring too much.
So today is day, I don't know what, of quarantine. Going a little bit crazy. I'm sure everyone's sleep cycle is ultra messed up. I know mine is. So I haven't slept at all last night or today. So I'm trying to stay up all day so that I could fall asleep at like a normal time and then wake up at a normal time. Because for like the past 3-4 weeks, I've been going to bed at like 6 a.m. and then waking up at 6 p.m. So I'm trying to stay up today. Put on some sunscreen, my favorite sunscreen. If you guys don't use sunscreen, please do. Even if you think you don't need it, like the sun will age you like a bee. So like, you want to be prepared for that. So while I'm doing this, I guess I'll tell you guys a story. One of my craziest, or rather crazy and rather unfortunate travel stories. So I don't use a brush when I'm putting on eyeshadow. I like to go for that early 2000s unblended look. You know what I'm talking about? Like, think way back, early 2000s unblended look. But actually, yeah, I just can't be bothered to buy like a brush or a beauty blender or foundation here, like, because in Thailand it's super hot and so your makeup's gonna like melt off your face before it's the end of the day anyways. There's really no point in spending a lot of money in makeup. But anyways, that's what I was saying. I'll tell you guys about my craziest travel story while I'm doing this. So last year I went to this little town called Hua Hin. It's like 4 hours south of Bangkok. It has a beach, it's like a beach town, but it's not like the good Thai beach town. So I went there one weekend and I stayed in a hostel. And in this hostel at the time, in the room, I got a mixed room, so meaning both boys and guys, which is usually how I stay, usually how I travel. I don't have a problem with staying mixed gender at all. But anyways, so in my room, there was me, one Chinese guy, and then one Thai guy. The Chinese guy, I barely saw him. Like, he left the room pretty early, and then it was just me and the Thai guy. And so, like, I was just talking to him. I asked him what town he was from, and he was from, like, a town that one of my foreign friends taught at the time. So I'm just making, like conversation with him because he lives in this town that my friend also lives in, so wouldn't that be a coincidence that they knew each other? And we're talking, he's not responding, so I just assumed that he doesn't speak English that well. And so I lay down on my bed. I'm on the bottom bunk, he's on the bottom bunk that's next to me, and then the Chinese guy would have been above me, but he was out of the room at the time. And so I'm laying down on my stomach, I'm watching like YouTube or something on my phone, and then all of a sudden I feel somebody like touch my butt. It's like a little like a little poke, and I'm like, what is that? I turn around and this guy has his pants down and he is touching himself in a rather intimate way, to say so politely. And so like I immediately jumped off the bed, I like spun around, I started like yelling at him, and then when I started yelling at him, he like pulled up his pants and he got like really scared. And serves him right to get super scared. Like what are you doing? Like, just because I was making conversation with you doesn't mean that I want to see you with your pants down. Like, come on. And so like he starts apologizing, and I go downstairs to like the hostel. It's a really cute hostel, and like it's also half a cafe. And so I went down, and the staff had gone home for the night because it's like 10 p.m. at this point. And so I like called like the hotline number that they left at the counter, and the lady that picked up barely spoke English, and I said that I would need to change my room for like an important reason, and she just said okay, and she told me where the keys were, so I could get a key to the all-female dorm room that was like a floor above the mid-story room. And so I do that, I get all my stuff, I'm still yelling at him, he's still begging me not to tell anyone. And so the next day, like, the lady I spoke to on the phone, because her English wasn't that great, she didn't understand like the full circumstance, what was going on. And so another lady came in that worked at the hostel, and she spoke perfect fluent English. And so I explained to her what happened, and like their mouths both dropped. Like the one lady, she translated it into Thai for the other lady. When she translated it, like both of their mouths like dropped, like they could not believe what had happened. And so like I told them this, and they were super professional, super awesome people, the people that worked at this hostel. And they, of course, said I could keep the room that I changed into. And they like spoke with him later that day. I didn't see it. And then when I ran into them again, they told me that they had kicked them out the hostel. When you're like a solo female traveler, we have to deal with so much like BS that like men don't have to deal with. And so like this is just like one of those crazy examples. Sorry guys, my SD card ran out of space, so it just kept spilling. I don't wear too much makeup, just a little bit of eyeshadow, eyeliner, and then my eyebrows, and then a little bit of brush, and then I'm just wearing some lip tint. So not lipstick, but just some like Korean brand lip tint, so it's gonna like fade out over time. And so I'm gonna get dressed, I'm gonna get changed out of my pajamas and into something that I could wear to the store. Heading out my apartment now. Sometimes they freaking lock the front door for me. Okay. We have to wear face masks every time we go out, at least for the time being. It's fucking hot outside. And yes, I'm wearing an avocado sweater even though it's like 100 degrees outside. Yeah, I can't wait to show you guys what I got. I got some goodies. I'm so excited. I didn't know these were in season yet. Mangosteen! Like, these have not been in season in a while. I have not been able to find these anywhere. I found them today at the market. Oh my god. Best fruit in all of Thailand. Like 1,000 times the amount of sugar in any fruit that you ever tried. So if you're ever in Thailand, highly recommend that you eat these. It's wet because I just washed it. And yeah, just find it and you just literally crack it open. And then it's this little white fruit. And then it's this like white fruit that's on the inside. Like your regular tomatoes, no big deal. Dragon fruit, which is one of my favorites. Like, if you guys haven't tried this, I feel sorry for you. This is like seriously one of my favorite fruits in all of Thailand. It's like white and has like black seeds on the inside. It's really sweet, but some people say it tastes kind of watery. But to me, it's super sweet. I love this.
And at this point, they're still waiting for
I just want to sleep.
to show up. So then they see Vince inside
This
the
is
bus,
so
and
hard trying to
they see
reset
him
my
walking
schedule,
around,
my
and he
sleep
goes to the
schedule. I
front
just
of the
want to go to
bus, and
bed.
he's trying to
I'm
start the
fighting to
bus
stay
up
awake.
so he could take off. And then once Vince realizes that he's kind of like stuck, he starts to get really
Made it to the beach. Like, I don't know what's going on with the water today. Like, the tide's never usually this high. Like the water is nearly all the way up on the beach. The tide's so high that there's basically no beach to sit at. So I'm gonna drive down, and there's another beach about 5 minutes down the road. Okay, so second beach is a bus too. Like, the water's so high that the beach is completely gone. Ooh. Like, oh look, there's some people swimming like way over there. I think I'm gonna go back to the other beach I just came from, but there was a part that had slightly lower tide for me to like sit on the beach. If not, there's actually a third beach like 5 minutes away from this area. But yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous here. So It just sucks with there not being any beach. Like usually I come here around this time and this beach is so low tide that you have to like walk out for like a mile before you're even past your knees. But yeah. But yeah. I'm just like taking off my shoes, so I think I'm gonna just like walk closer, like walk a little bit into the water. You know, like I know someone's gonna say something that I drive with like a jacket on and it's like 104 degrees out, so like it's like 40 degrees Celsius, more than 40 degrees Celsius, and like, hey, don't knock it. People, the local people here drive with jackets on because, you know, they don't want to get dark, and so like if you look like a local, you're less likely to get pulled over by the police and less likely to get fined. So oh. So there's a little bit of beach around that end. Not a bad place to be during quarantine. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna drive back to the other beach. I have like a part that was slightly lower tide. Like, so the only way to get to that piece of sand that's like way over there is to like go back on the road, and like there's not very many entrances to the beach from that end, so I'm not sure how to. I should probably just walk all the way down there, but I'm not about that life because I don't want myself to get wet. So let's see what other beach it is. Okay, I found a beach. Well, no, I found sand. I was at other beaches. You guys, you know what I mean. I found sand. And also a beach. The barricades were removed, so I guess it's okay to travel within my province right now. When last month it absolutely was not. Like, you had to have, like, permits, like a reason to be traveling from, like, town to town within the same province, even though those towns were literally just 15 minutes away from each other. Like, it was like really strict, but it's getting a little bit looser now. Like today I saw a few businesses that weren't food related opening back up, so that's pretty good. And I also saw some construction going on, so those people are going back to work as well. So like little by little things are slowly starting to like loosen up here. Travel in between like different provinces was like pretty much impossible up until like a couple weeks ago. Like it's still pretty hard. Like the bus stations aren't running. Some of the domestic airports like Phuket aren't running right now. So like there's like a lot of like stranded tourists here who like can't get home, or like they have a flight in one province but they're stuck in another because like travel between provinces is really difficult. So hopefully that's gonna get better. Like one of my favorite beaches is like literally just around the corner, but it's only accessible by boats. And since the boats aren't running, like I can't get to it. And there's like a few like hostels, well there's like 2 hostels and like bungalows and like a hotel over on that side as well. And like so the people like are literally like 10 minutes from the mainland. Like, actually not even, they are on the mainland. They're just separated by like a really large cliff that's like impassable by a human foot in car and whatever. So you have to take a boat, and they're literally like 10 minutes away, but because of a gigantic cliff we're like kind of stuck there, which is not a bad place to be stuck, like honestly. Anyways, I'm gonna go for a swim. Bye. Look at that sky. The perfect way to end a perfect beach day. This is just perfect. This is perfect. So right now I'm like stuck under this like little hut thing. Yeah, it's like bamboo or like wood or something. And my bike's getting soaking wet. I brought my helmet with me so it wouldn't get soaked. But yeah, so now I have no choice but try to wait this out because the road's gonna be